Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Gauranta Jaya Gauranta Jaya Radha Madhava Radhe Radhe Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe Jaya Bala Gopal Jaya Bala Gopal Jaya Bala Gopal Jaya Radha Rasi Hari Radha Hari Radhe Radhe Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Guru Jai Gaura Hari Bo Gaura Hari Bo Gaura Hari Bo Gaura Hari Bo.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Over to you, Shubhangi Radha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Madhajis. Hare Krishna, Prabhus and Madhajis. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Pranam, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Pranams to all. Pranams to everybody. So thank you for the opportunity to continue with this same group with another event, another pastime. It is actually the dynasty of Dhruva Maharaj. Hope my voice is audible. Is it clear?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, are you sharing your screen?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
We don't see the shlokas. Yes.
Have you seen Mataji? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So let us start with the invocation mantra, opening prayers, then we will continue our session today. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Nigamakalpatarorgalitam Phalam Sukamukhadamrita Dravasamyutam Bipata Bhavatam Rasamalayam Muhuraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavakaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayam Budhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Karoti Achal Pangam Langete Kirimet Kripa Taphamde Shri Gurun Dinadari Paramananda Madhav Shri Chaitanya. Hare Krishna. So, we are in the pastime of King Vena, one of the descendant of Dhruva. Dhruva is a famous devotee, Dhruva Maharaj. So, the youngest, very spiritual personality. And in his dynasty, King Anga was one of the descendant of in this lineage. And his wife name was Sunita. So, they didn't have a son for a long time. when they performed yajna. Just I am recapping whatever we have gone through all this time. So this they don't have a son, so he wished to perform the yajna. And during the yajna, actually the yajna means the share has to go to all the demigods. But when after performing yajna, the demigods didn't appear to collect the share. So the brahmanas are wondering what happened. Then when they actually told this to the king, and they also then the king was very much actually disappointed, and he was asking that what offense I made. So what was why they didn't come, even though I invited them, why they didn't participate in the yajna, and why they didn't ready to receive their share. So the brahmana said that okay, maybe if you, but when they actually seen that, they didn't find any fault on him, on King Yanga, during this lifetime. So they said that okay, they might have offended in the past life, because of his past life any unknowing offense it happened. So better we can actually share the or offer this yajna to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then automatically he will satisfy your desire. So then they offered the yajna to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then one personality came and they offered the prasadam to King Anga. Then after having that prasadam, the queen conceived, Sunita conceived, and they got a son. But that son name was Vena. But this Vena, King Anga was such a pious person, and he was very spiritual person. But King Vena was opposite to him. Okay, he was very crook-minded. He is not that much possess any good characters. He was very bad in his character. So by seeing him, he is the king actually tried his level best to correct his son, but it couldn't happen. So what he thought is okay, instead of actually trying to correct him, so this is, let us actually consider like whatever comes, the devotees will accept as a blessing. Okay, so here King Anga accepted this as a blessing. So because actually Krishna wants me to detach from the family, so it happened to that, so he just left his kingdom. And the citizens tried to actually, without the king, how the citizens will actually live. So they are actually trying to search king, but they couldn't find out. So later the brahmanas, they went to the sages, saintly persons, and they reported about the situation. And the sages suggested that okay, the lineage, according to the lineage, his son will take place as a king. So they appointed King Vena as the king. But they know very well about Vena, but there is no other choice for them, because he was the son of King Anga. So that's why actually they thrown him as a king, King Vena. And we are now that by he couldn't actually stop his behavior. He misbehaved in such a manner that he goes around the kingdom, and he stopped all the sacrifices. The sages actually could not continue their ritualistic activities, the sacrifices. And if the sacrifices are not done, it will affect the brahmanas as well as the country also. So they all actually talked among themselves. So they want to actually console, like they want to advise King Vena. Okay, because they understood his, they very much know about his character. So they went to actually give advice to King Vena. So we are in that part now. So today's session is from text 20. Okay, so this is the continuation of the sage's advice to King Vena. Okay, can one person repeat after me?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Salam Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Sindhu.
Okay, Sindhu Mataji. Yes, please. 4.14.20. Tasmim stuste kimaprapyam
Tasmim stushte kimaprapyam
jagatam ishwareshware
jagatam ishwareshware
loka sapalahi tasmai
loka sapalahi etasmai
haranti balim adritaha.
haranti balim adritaha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Could you read the translation, Mataji, as well as the purport?
Shall I translate? Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipped by the great demigods who are controllers of universal affairs. When he is satisfied, nothing is impossible to achieve. For this reason, all the demigods, presiding deities of different planets, as well as the inhabitants of their planets, take great pleasure in offering all kinds of paraphernalia for his worship. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All Vedic civilization is summarized in this verse. All living entities, either on this planet or on other planets, have to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead by their respective duties. When he is satisfied, all necessities of life are automatically supplied. In the Vedas, it is also stated, Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadati Kaman, Katha Upanishad 2.2.13. From the Vedas, we understand that he is supplying everyone's necessities, and we can actually see that the lower animals, the birds, and the beasts have no business or profession, yet they are not dying for want of food. They are all living in nature's way, and they all have the necessities of life provided, namely eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Human society, however, has artificially created a type of civilization which makes one forgetful of his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Modern society even enables one to forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead's grace and mercy. Consequently, modern civilized man is always unhappy and in need of things. People do not know that the ultimate goal of life is to approach Lord Vishnu and satisfy him. They have taken this materialistic way of life as everything and have become captivated by materialistic activities. Indeed, the leaders are always encouraging them to follow this path, and the general populace, being ignorant of the laws of God, are following their blind leaders down the path of unhappiness. In order to rectify this world situation, all people should be trained in Krishna consciousness and act in accordance with the Varnashrama system. The state should also see that people are engaged in satisfying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the primary duty of the state. The Krishna conscious movement was started. Mataji's screen.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. The Krishna conscious movement was started to convince the general populace to adopt the best process by which to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus solve all the problems.
Thank you, Mataji.
Very good. Thank you.
So, here the sages are telling that the Supreme Personality of God is worshipped by the great demigods. So, the sacrifices, actually in the Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, it is given that Yajnata Karmano Anyatra. We have to do our activity as a sacrifice to the Lord. Okay, if we are not sacrifice, the real meaning of sacrifice in the sense, we should not expect anything as a result. We should do the work as a duty. Okay, we should not expect the result. That is the meaning of sacrifice. So here sacrificial means, here they are doing the ritualistic activity means in order to please the demigod, by pleasing the demigod or by pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we will get the blessings. So the sacrifice are recommended for all status of people. Okay, even in the Karma Yoga, the Lord said that Yajnata Karmano Anyatra. If you are not doing yajna, if you are not doing sacrifice, then it will bind us again into this material world. The result will actually bind us. If you are offering the result to the Lord, then it will actually help us to elevate our position. So that is recommended by the Lord in the Bhagavad Gita. And here also the sages are saying that the demigods are actually the authorized representative of the Lord. So by doing these ritualistic activities, the demigod will be pleased, and they are also part and parcel of Krishna. Okay, so by doing that, they are indirectly offering that share to the Lord. So the indirect procedure is given. Okay, for this reason, all the demigods presiding the deity of different planets as well as the inhabitants of their planets, they create pleasure in offering. So they will actually accept the offering with the pleasure, because the people are very God conscious, and by actually pleased by their activity, the demigods will give their necessity. Okay, so they will fulfill their material desires. But the difference between worshipping the demigod and the difference between worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead is given in the Shastras. Vedanta means the essence of all the Vedas is to understand our position. Our position is what? What is our position? As per
Jivera
Vedanta.
Swarupohoy Nitya Krishna Das. Servants,
Yeah.
eternal servant of
Yeah.
God.
We all are eternal servant of the Lord. So by serving our master, by pleasing our master, automatically he will take care of us. Okay. We need not to go to the other servants. So that is actually given even in Srimad Bhagwtam 1.2.8. This is one of the famous verse, Dharma Swanishtida Pumsam. Better let us go to that verse. In Srimad Bhagwtam, Canto 1, Chapter 4, the appearance of Sri, Chapter 2, in that Dharma Swanishtida Pumsam. Okay, the occupational activity is given. See, Dharma Swanishtida Pumsam, Vishvaksena Kadasuyaka, Notpadayet Yadiratim, Shrama Evahi Kevalam. So, what is the translation? The occupational activities a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor. Okay. Why it is a useless labor? If they do not provoke attraction for the message of the personality of Godhead. So we all have to do, in order to maintain our body, in order to do our responsibilities, we all have to work. That is known as occupational duty. By doing that occupational duty, if one is not attracted towards the message of personality of Godhead, because our eternal position is Jivere Swarupa Krishnera Nitya Das. We all are actually the eternal servant of the Lord. So we should actually always remember our position, and we have to act accordingly. Okay, at the time being, we got some responsibility in this material world according to our status as a brahmachari or grahastha, wherever we are in. So according to our status, we have to do some occupational duties. Okay, so during doing that occupational duties, but we should not forget our eternal position. Okay, so whatever the service we are actually doing, that service should actually invoke or provoke us to the attraction towards the personality of Godhead. Okay, if it is not happen, then whatever we are doing, it's simply shrama evahi kevalam. It is simply the waste of time. Okay, and another famous example usually the Prabhupada used to give is the cage and the bird. We are actually trying to feed the bird. We are trying to actually take care of your bird, and to maintain the bird, we are having a cage. Instead of actually feeding the bird, if you are cleaning the cage regularly, what is the use? We should take care of the bird. So the cage is compared to our body and bodily relations. Yeah, we should take care of both the cage as well as the bird. But which one is important? The bird is important. The bird in the cage is important. Similarly, we should give importance to our soul. Okay, instead of giving more importance to our body, we should actually feed the soul also. So that example is actually given in that. So whatever the occupation we are doing to perform our responsibility, but the main thing is we should always remember the Lord, and we should actually perform the devotional service to the Lord. That is important. So let us move on to our current session. Sorry. So here it is given that all the demigods are actually performing their activities, like they offer their offerings to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Many have raised the hands. Do you have any doubt in this, or
For
can
reading,
anyone?
Mataji, I have raised to read the next purpose.
Oh, okay. Okay, fine. So let us finish this. So here the reference is given, like in the Vedas, it is also stated that Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadati Kaman. So from the Vedas, we understand that, we should understand that Vedesha Sarver Aham Eva Vedyo Vedanta Krit Veda Videva Chagam. The essence of all the Vedas actually telling us that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the origin. He is the root of everything. So by pouring the water, by offering our sacrifices towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead, automatically all the living entities, including the demigods, will be satisfied. Okay. But what is the present position? It is clearly given that human society artificially created a type of civilization which makes one forgetful of his relationship with the Supreme Personality. But according to our present position, we completely forgot our real constitutional position. We forgot that we are the servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we are thinking that we came here to enjoy this material world. So we are giving so much importance to our body and so much importance to our material position. Okay, so and the modern society even enables one to forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead and is this grace and mercy. And even the higher authority, the administrators should actually make the citizens to remember this truth. They have to actually help the citizens to develop spiritual attitude or develop Krishna consciousness. But here in this case, King Vena is not in the position to help the saintly persons. Okay, if you are feeding the Brahmana, in the Bhagwtam first canto, it is given that if you are taking care of the Brahmanas, children, and the women in the society, then automatically it is very auspicious. It will bring all auspiciousness to the society. Okay, but here King Vena is behaving in the other way. But even in the present situation, the administrators, whoever is ruling our society, in previous day it was monarchy, now it is democracy. Even in the present situation, whoever is actually taking care of the society, the country, the state and all, the people should be God consciousness. If they are not God consciousness, they won't actually make the citizens to back to Godhead. Okay, if they are not God consciousness, how they will teach the real value of the life to the citizens, to their dependents? So we are in the very bad situation because in this Kali Yuga. So they should actually act as an example for the followers. In order to rectify this world situation, all people should be trained in Krishna consciousness. So the solution is given by Prabhupada. So what we have to do, even though our administrator is not in a position to guide us in the right way, we have to take the instruction of the Lord. Okay, that is important. So we have to be in Krishna consciousness by doing devotional service to the Lord. This is the primary duty of the state. So primary duty of the state in the sense, primary duty of all the citizens in the state. So the Krishna conscious movement was stated to convince the general populace to adopt the best process by which to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By pouring the water to the root of the plant, automatically it will go to all the twigs, branches, and every part of the tree. Similarly, by actually satisfying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by performing devotional service, by connecting ourselves with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, automatically it helps us to upgrade ourselves. Okay, so this is recommended by the sages to King Vena. This is the advice given by King Vena to sages to King Vena. So let us move on to the next session, 21. Okay, who wants to repeat? Divya Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Tam sarvalokamara sangraham.
Tam sarvalokamara sangraham.
Trayimayam dravyamayam tapomayam.
Trayimayam dravyamayam tapomayam.
Yajnair vichitrer yajato bhavayate.
Yajnair vichitrer yajato bhavayate.
Yajato bhavayate.
Yajato bhavayate.
Rajan swadeshan anurodumarhasi.
Rajan swadeshan anuruddhom arhasi. Shall I read the
Translation also. Yeah, Mataji, please.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Dear King, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, along with the predominating deities, is the enjoyer of the results of all sacrifices in all planets. The Supreme Lord is the sum total of the three Vedas, the owner of everything, and the ultimate goal of all austerity. Therefore, your countrymen should engage in performing various sacrifices for your elevation. Indeed, you should always direct them towards the offering of sacrifices. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat
Thank you,
Pranam.
thank you, Mataji. So here the saintly persons are actually recommending King Veda to support the saintly persons to continue their activities. If they are doing the activities, if they perform their duties perfectly, then automatically the king will also get all the benefits, because the king is also supporting them to do their duty. So by supporting them, he will also get the benefits. So here the saintly persons are actually asking him to support the saintly person. Okay, so support the saintly persons, right? Because the Supreme Lord is the sum total of the three Vedas, the owner of everything. Okay, so there is no purport in it. So let us move on to the next verse. 4.14.22. Archana Mataji, could you
Hare
repeat
Krishna
after me?
Mataji.
Yeah.
Yes,
Please.
Mataji.
यज्ञेन युष्मत् विषये द्विजातिभिर्
यज्ञेन युष्मद् विषये द्विजातिभिर्
विधायमानेन सुरा कला हरेः
वितायमानेन सुरा कलाहरेः
स्विष्टा सुतुष्टा प्रदिशन्ति वाञ्छितम्
श्विष्टा सुतुष्टा प्रदिशन्ति वाञ्छितम्
तद्धेलनं नार्हसि वीरचेष्टितुम्
तद्देलनं नार्हसि वीरचेष्टितुम्. May I read the translation, Mataji?
Yeah, please, Mataji, continue with it.
Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. When all the Brahmanas engage in performing sacrifices in your kingdom, all the demigods who are plenary expansion of the Lord will be very much satisfied by their activities and give you your desired result. Therefore, O hero, do not stop the sacrificial performances. If you stop them, you will disrespect the demigods. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. So they are actually saying in the nice way. They didn't actually order the Veena, like King Veena. Okay, they are actually approaching him in the soft way, and they are telling that surely it will actually benefit to you only. And here they are saying that when all Brahmanas engage in sacrifices in your kingdom, the demigods will be satisfied, because the demigods are authorized representative of the Lord. Okay, will be very much satisfied by their activities and will give you your desired result. So automatically you will get the benefit. So why you are actually stopping them? Because automatically you only will get the benefit. And if you are stopping them, they are telling the result also. What will happen to him? If you stop them, you will disrespect the demigods. So if you are not allowing them to do the sacrifice, then this means the demigod will get angry, because we are disrespecting the demigods. Okay. So let us move on to the next sloka, 23. Who is going to repeat? Anyone else?
Krishnamurti Prabhuji.
Okay. Prabhu, are you ready to read? Okay. Otherwise, anyone else, Mataji? No one is ready?
Hello Mataji, once again.
Yeah, Mataji. If no one is there, you please continue. Vena Uach. Yeah, Mataji.
May I read? Please.
Navakishwari. Yeah, Mataji, please continue.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Vena Uacha.
Vena Uvacha
Balisha Batayuyam Va
बालिशापतयूयं वा
Adarme Dharmama Ninaha
अधर्मे धर्ममानिनः
Ye Vrittidam Patim Hitva
ये वृतिदं पतिं हित्वा
Jaram Patim Upasate.
जारं पतिम् उपासते. Thank you, Mataji. Should I read synonym or translation,
Yeah,
Mataji?
could you continue with the translation and purport, please?
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Dandavat Mataji. Translation and
Thanks.
purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. King Vena replied, "You are not at all experienced. It is very much regrettable that you are maintaining something which is no religious and are accepting it is religious. Indeed, I think you are giving up your real husband who maintain you and are searching after some farmer to worship." Purport: King Vena was so foolish that he accused the saintly sages of being inexperienced like small children. In other words, he was accusing them of not having perfect knowledge. In this way, he could reject their advice and make accusation against them, comparing them to a woman who does not care for her husband, who maintain her but uh, goes to goes to satisfy a farmer who does not maintain her. The purpose of these simile is apparent. It is the duty of the Kshatriya to engage the Brahmanas in different types of religious activities, and the king is supposed to be maintainer of the Brahmanas. If the Brahmanas do not worship the king but instead go to the demigods, they are polluted in its unchaste
Women.
women. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So the Brahmanas gave advice to him, but what is the response from King Vena? Has he accepted? He accepted that advice?
No,
No,
Mataji.
he has rejected.
No, he rejected. Yeah. So what is his position? He is actually blaming the Brahmanas in the other way. It is very much regrettable that you are maintaining something that which is not religious and are accepting it as religious. So he actually considered him, this is the position of the material benefits. Once we get materially the opulent status, then automatically that will actually make us to forget our real condition. We already discussed about many Vedic pastimes related to that. The recent one is in Damodar Leela, the sons of Kubera. Because of their material position, they were the sons of Kubera, wealthiest. But because of that material position, they forgot their real service. They forgot their real position and they want to enjoy with the Gandharva ladies. They enjoyed with the Gandharva ladies. Similarly, here also, once he got the position, the status as a king, then he was very much proud about the position. Because the king means automatically he will enjoy everything. He will get all the facilities, comforts. So when we are in the comfort zone, it will actually make us to forget our real position. So here the best example is King Vena. Okay, once even though he was in the beginning also, he was not that much good enough. At least if he is having a little spiritual knowledge, then he knows that okay, we have to hear the words of Brahmana. But he is already misbehaved. He was not in a good suitable position to take the role of a king. But even though once he got the king's position, then he was very much proud. Okay, he thought that okay, he knows everything. Once they got the position, this is actually, that position will make the person to be very proud that they knew everything. So they will speak based on the status, they will actually speak about that. So here also King Vena was in that condition, and he was very much proud about that position. And he thought that he knows everything. He doesn't want to hear from any Brahmanas. But actually, the Kshatriyas has to follow the advice of the Brahmanas, because according to Varnashrama Dharma, the Brahmanas are considered as the intelligent class. So the intelligent class, whatever they suggested, if the king follows it perfectly, then automatically the society will be benefited. And if the citizens are actually getting benefited, automatically the king and they will also get the credit will go to king also automatically. So here, because of his foolishness, he is not ready to accept the instruction of the Brahmanas. Okay. And in the other way, he is blaming the Brahmanas. In what way? I think you are giving up your real husband and you are maintains you. You are searching after some parama to worship. And he is blaming that, actually, I am the one taking care of you people, but you forgot me and you are simply offering your oblations or offering to, you are trying to offer the things to the demigods. So this means falsely he is claiming that he is the proprietor of everything and he is the one maintaining everybody. So this is because of false ego. Okay. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam nyatva shanti mrichati. So who is the real maintainer for all the living entity? Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By simply serving him, by simply trying to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, if we have the knowledge to actually do that, that itself actually will bring peacefulness. Okay. So that is recommended by the Lord in Bhagavad Gita. The instruction is given by the Lord. But here he is actually offending the Brahmanas. It is a duty of the Kshatriyas, and to this simile, he is directly saying that he is a proprietor. He is the one actually supporting everybody. So the persons should actually worship him only. So those who are actually considering them as the master, they are actually, who are they? They will come under demoniac category. Okay. If you are falsely claiming us, can you say one example who actually claimed like this? Any person in the Vedic scripture?
Hiranyakashipu
Yeah.
Mataji.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. So Hiranyakashipu, he actually considered himself as the supreme, and everybody has to actually follow him. Everybody has to worship him. When he was a king, he actually wanted all the citizens should worship him only. So here Vena also actually behaving in such a way that he actually claiming that he is the superior person and he is the one actually maintaining all the living entity. But as a king, it is a duty of the Kshatriyas to engage the Brahmanas in different types of religious activities. Actually, he has to support, as a Kshatriya, the duty of a Kshatriya is he has to support the Brahmanas. Okay. And the king is supposed to be the maintainer of the Brahmanas and he should actually take care of the Brahmanas. Do not worship the king, but instead go to the demigods. They are actually polluted as unchaste women. And he is actually openly saying that I am the one actually maintaining and I am supporting you people, but you are not actually supporting me. You are saying that you want to actually worship the demigod. So that is actually showing that he is actually comparing the saintly people as the unchaste woman. The unchaste woman means he is not worshipping his husband and he is actually going to the another person. So like that, he is actually comparing the saintly persons. So indirectly, he is saying that instead of worshipping the demigod, the people has to actually glorify the king. So the main points from this verse is actually we should have to hear from the authorized person. Okay, that is very important point. The lesson from this King Vena is he doesn't want to actually listen from the Brahmanas. He doesn't want to follow the instructions given by the Brahmanas. So that is another thing. So if we really want to upgrade, or if we really follow the righteous path, then we have to follow the instruction of Guru and Krishna. That's the main point. So the acharyas are the authorized representative of the Lord. Here also it is given that the demigods are authorized representative. So by worshipping them, they will get the blessings of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, the acharyas are the authorized representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So by following the instruction of our Guru, the acharyas and the Krishna's instruction is given in Bhagavad Gita. So by following that, we will actually move on to the righteous path. So that is a message through this King Veena we should understand. And the next thing is the mood should be see, if it means if we are not actually following the instructions, then automatically we will get the mood of I and mine. Here, Vena is in that position because Vena didn't listen the instruction of the Brahmanas. And because of that, which one is dominating? The lust and greed. Like he is actually falsely claiming that he is the one supporting everybody. So if we are not following the instructions given by our guru, many persons may ask that, okay, the gurus are actually sannyasis. They are simply talking about the Vedas, and the Vedas are actually long back. The words are given in the Vedas are actually not suitable for this Kali Yuga, our people. So how can we follow all these things? Certain people, many people will have this type of question, no? But Vedas, the Vedas are Veda Pramana, Vedas, the words given in the Vedas are actually Satyam. Satyam means it is ever existing. It has a value eternally. The eternal value is there. So it is applicable to all the stages. It doesn't mean that, okay, it was actually written by like saintly people long back, so this is not suitable for present situation. No, that is for mundane novels and mundane books only. But Vedas are applicable and suitable for all age group. Okay, so that's why even though if the Vedas disappeared, like the words of the Vedas are not actually continuing properly, then Krishna is saying that, what is he says in Bhagavad Gita? To re-establish Dharma, he is appearing again and again. Okay, so the Vedas are very much important. That's why in order to save the Veda, Krishna will actually he will reappear. He will appear again and again to develop the Dharma, to develop the consciousness among the citizens. So if you are not developing, if you are not actually accepting the instructions or not following the instructions of our Guru, then automatically we will lead to the mentality. It will actually develop the mentality of I, me, and mine. Like here, King Veena also actually claiming that he is the one supporting everybody. So we should be very careful to purify our consciousness. Okay, if you are not following the instructions, it will contaminate our consciousness. So that is important. And the Krishna should be centralized in all our activity, whatever we are doing. So by simply following the instructions, because the acharyas, the gurus are actually making us to do service to the Lord, they are trying to actually involve us to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So by keeping the Lord in the center means we should actually follow the instructions prescribed by our Guru Maharaj, by our previous acharyas. By following their instructions, automatically it will help us to maintain or understand our real constitutional position. Okay, so in order to continue our devotional service, which one is important? The firm faith. The firm faith on Guru and firm faith on Krishna is important. If we have a firm faith, Shraddha means firm faith. So if we have firm faith on them, then automatically we will follow their instructions. So that firm faith is important. Okay, that is recommended in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Let us conclude this session with another reference in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.62. Shraddha Sabde Vishwasa Kahe Sudrida Nishchaya Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Kritahaya. So the meaning of this verse is Shraddha is confident, firm faith that by rendering transcendental loving service to Krishna, one automatically performs all subsidiary activities. Such faith is favorable to the discharge of devotional service. So here we talked about keep Krishna in the center and following the instruction of our acharyas. For this, we need firm faith. Okay, so with the faith, if you are following the instructions, then automatically it will help us to continue our service based on our eternal position. It will actually help us to continue our service based on our eternal position. Okay, so any additional points or comments? Any questions? Yeah, Mataji's, Prabhu's.
No question, Mataji. No questions. Anything one needs to be realization is this. Just we have to hear the authoritative suggestions before taking any decisions. That is to be implemented in our personal lives.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
thank you, Prabhu. Anybody wants to share their realizations?
Yes, Mataji. And also, we
Yes.
should know that the essence of all the Vedas is the Supreme Lord Krishna, and He is the root of everything. Like watering the root of the plant, we satisfy everything. Like people around us, demigods, everything will be satisfied.
Yeah, that understanding or that memory will be there throughout our life means that if we need that realization throughout our life, even at the end of the life means we need the mercy of Guru. We need the mercy of the acharyas.
Yes. And also the cage and the bird example, Mataji, you gave. Very nice. Like
Yeah.
we have to remember the Lord, and always we have to remember that the soul is taken care, like the not the cage, like the body.
Yeah. Yeah. Even the cage is also important, but simply by taking care of cage won't help us. We should give importance to the bird also. That is the purpose of the life. The human body is given to us.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, thank
And
you.
also remember that, what to say, if it does not provoke the attraction to the Supreme Lord, His message, you so told, that is also a very beautiful point, I thought. Otherwise, it's all a waste of time, you told, useless labor. Like.
Brahmayeva hi kevalam.
Ah,
Yeah.
right.
So we should try to do all the activity. Yat karoshi, yat dasnasi, yat jugoshi tadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurishva madarpanam. We should try to connect all the activity with the Lord. That is sacrifice. So it will actually very much recommended by the acharyas, and it is recommended by the Lord itself in Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Anything else?
Hare Krishna Mataji. At times, even though we are reading all these stories and we are listening, at times when we are feeling proud of ourselves, even we will be taking the advice of our elders very lightly, Mataji. I remember that, Mataji. Though we are listening to all this, sometimes when our mood is different, that is when we are feeling that we are great, or whatever we have done is so, I mean, everybody is encouraging, praising us. So we get, we self-boast
Proud of.
ourselves. Yeah.
Puffed up.
And
Mataji, can I
puffed
answer
up.
this?
At times we also go like this,
Think we have-
that much. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
We have to take baby steps, Mataji. Yeah, I was like thinking like we should take baby steps, and like it's not that we have to be perfect in everything, but when we take one step, the Lord automatically helps us in every way, and He's so merciful that even though we realize that we want to do it, it's enough, whether we do it or not, Mataji. I mean to say, we are not 100%.
No, what she says is when we are doing, when
Yeah,
everybody
I
actually
understand.
glorifies.
It's not an easy task. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, Mataji, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Man Prapatyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabhaka. So, it is very difficult to uh, purify ourselves because we have taken lot of birth, and in each birth we actually put lot of desires. The material lust is more. Because of that lust only we are taking birth again and again in this material world. So the contaminations, the anarthas, the covering is very strong. So simply by actually clearing the upside, we can't actually claim that, okay, I am not yet purified. Yeah, we are in the process, we are in the path. So let us try, let us continue our activities, because this path is very danger. That is also given and by our acharyas, that we should actually keep, like Mataji said, we should put all our steps carefully. We should not offend the Vaishnavas. We should actually do our sadhanas perfectly. And we should actually remember that we are the servant of the Supreme Lord. It doesn't mean that, okay, I'm servant only to the Supreme Lord, so I need not to do service to the Vaishnavas and the senior persons. Whom am I to actually serve? No. The humbleness should come. So in the Sikshashtaka, that's what, while we are chanting, we should remember all those things, the 8 instructions prescribed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is the third one?
Trinadapi Sunichena
Sunitsalina.
Taror.
Amani
You have to be humble like a grass.
Yeah.
Kirtaniya.
So while we are doing chanting, we should remember these words of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The chanting is actually purification. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. It purifies our heart. It purifies our anarthas. So during this purification process, we should always remember that. So let this purification happen and let my mind be pure. Let me be a best servant of you. Let me try to please you. Let my mind actually always engage in your service. This should be our prayer while doing our sadhanas. Okay. Nice,
Thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji. Hare
Thank
Krishna,
you.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
And Mataji,
Yeah.
all these come by Sri Guru and Gauranga's mercy only. If we
Yeah.
ask spiritual master, he will purify us one by one, or like he will give purification in all our negativity, step by step.
Yeah.
So if we can get rid of our all the negativity one by one. Am I
Yes.
right?
Yeah. 100%. Without their mercy, we can't do it. But our responsibility is from our side, we should give importance to their instructions.
Yes,
We should
yes,
follow their instructions. That is very
yes,
much important. We should
yes.
not actually think that how this by following this instruction will help me to increase or develop bhakti. No, we should have a strong faith on the words of our guru. We should have a strong faith on the Vedas. By following their instructions sincerely, automatically, by their blessings, surely we will come on that stage. Okay.
Definitely, definitely. Yes.